Twin brothers Colin and Taylor Fitzpatrick are on a collision course to play in a MAC championship game with a potential college football playoff spot on the line, as Colin is a Heisman frontrunner after an absurd 500-yard game against EMU, and Taylor has led a completely untalented Kent State team to one of their best seasons ever. Today, we'll see if the brothers can win out and keep their postseason hopes alive. First, Miami of Ohio, who is not going to be an easy team to beat necessarily. Taylor's starting this off with a nice little completion to Garcia. None of the MAC teams outside of Northern Illinois have really even threatened this Kent State team yet, as Taylor has just been so good in conference play. And hopefully today is no different. We'll see what we can cook up, and McCray is wide open on the curl route here. Thankfully doesn't drop that one. McCray has of course had a lot of troubles with drops this season. One of those drops of course led to a loss against LSU, and you've got to think this Kent State team might have different aspirations if that had gone differently. I'm just happy Taylor's in a position to be fighting for a conference championship though. Has nobody open here unfortunately and fumbles the ball. It is an absolute miracle that Miami didn't take that the other way. Really just genuinely atrocious pocket presence from Taylor there. He has got to sense the pressure coming sooner, able to get a completion here at least. And apparently the field goal kicker is not to be trusted. We're going for it out of the gate, and Taylor's able to fit that in. Jameel Gardner, huge play early in this game. This is where Taylor's had trouble with turnovers though. Got to be careful, and that was a risky throw. Thankfully Flourier is able to come down with it. If that cornerback got his head around, things could have been different, but Taylor's running it on third down and gets completely stuffed to make it 4th and goal. So Kent State is going to take the field goal. Thankfully this Golden Flash defense has continued to look solid. Taylor's got to make sure this drive ends in a touchdown though. Some nifty running to pick up the first down, just swerving a couple defenders out of their shoes. I have a feeling Taylor's going to try to take the top off a little bit with this drive, as he's got man coverage here, had the tight end wide open but misses him. I think the pressure may have gotten to Taylor just a little bit there, as Miami's going heavy man coverage blitz. Taylor should be able to cut this up as long as he can get the ball out. Just got to make sure he keeps this offense on track by avoiding sacks, but rolling to his right is not the move. He doesn't have the arm strength to make that throw across his body. That's something we could maybe see next season, but in conference play just throwing the ball quick has worked fine. I haven't seen a ton of big plays in this game, as Taylor's just been taking the safe reads for the most part, and Miami Ohio has been given a lot of cushion. It's good to see that Taylor's punishing this defense, as he's on pace to throw for well over 400 yards, and the corner route has been absolute cash today. This time I want to see him finish the drive though. He should have the slant route wide open, but Gardner drops the ball. This receiver core is frustrating at times. Gotta find a way regardless. Out route should be cash here. Harris, you gotta turn upfield and get that touchdown though. Taylor has 150 yards through the air. He's just gonna hand it off here on the goal line though, and Garcia will get the first touchdown of the day. Miami is able to answer back. We might just have a game on our hands, people. Taylor's gonna try to get a quick score here, finding Flourier over the middle. Outside the red zone, this offense has looked damn near unstoppable, and Flourier continues to be a top target. Taylor does a nice job of leading him upfield on the slant. If you like seeing consistent, smart quarterback play, this is the game for you, as Taylor has been taking everything the defense has given him, and not a whole lot more. Unfortunately, this one's coming back with a clipping. No idea at all how we get a clipping call on that play, as Taylor's actually going to try a bubble screen here. This will actually work out pretty well, and Fisher will pick up the first down and more. Fisher is not a guy who's gotten the ball a ton in this receiving core, and this time Taylor is back to Flourier. He will get into the end zone, and that'll be Taylor's first passing touchdown on the day. This has been one of his most efficient halves ever, and now we'll see if he can find a way to cook something up with just 40 seconds left. He's just going to take the dump off on the first play. We'll have to take a timeout. Might try to get the rollout going a little bit here. Taylor's going to get to the left side, and Miami does do a pretty good job of covering that up. That'll go nowhere. Gotta stay aggressive though. Keep the foot on the gas, and the corner route wide open. Look at the toe tap catch from Flourier. Dude has 100 yards receiving in the first half. Now we got a chance to get in field goal range at the very least, and somehow McCray is just wide open there. We're gonna have to get back on the ball fast though. Taylor with almost 300 yards in the first half, as Miami has just had nothing to deal with these corner routes. And now we got the true test down near the goal line. Taylor's gonna take the seam to Flourier, and Flourier will get his second touchdown of the day. I really hope I'm pronouncing dude's name right, because I say it a lot. But somehow, bro, I don't even know what happened. I think it was a fumble on the kickoff, but Miami of Ohio turns it to a 1-score lead. Despite Taylor's insane first half, Miami is still definitely in the game, and Taylor's gonna make a risky throw here. This one is gonna be picked off, and the tide has turned. Miami will take that into the end zone for a touchdown, as the cornerback read that corner route like a book. And I might just have to throw that C route in the trash, man. It's been getting picked off way too much for my liking this season, and now Taylor's got a little bit of pressure on him. This wide receiving core has been consistent, but I would love if they could generate a big play soon, and Taylor doesn't have anyone this time. He will just scamper down the sidelines, and excellent blocking. He's gonna get 27, and maybe could have gotten more if he stayed in bounds. Despite a couple of sacks, Taylor's got some solid stats on the ground. Finding McCray here on the little wheel. All right, just gotta make sure we don't turn the ball over here. I don't throw the flat route a whole lot, but I'm going to take it. Sometimes you gotta take what the defense gives you, and Hayden Junker able to pick up 10. Just gotta finish it out. We'll go back to this wheel wheel route combo, and oh man, we're lucky that wasn't another pick. I didn't see that guy creeping over at all. Not gonna lie, boys, the reads have been just a little bit questionable on my part at times. Taylor gonna get out of the pocket here though, and I don't think I'll have to make a read. He puts his head down, thought we were gonna get in on that one. And on 1st and goal, we got a little wide receiver screen action. That is not setting up well at all. We'll just chuck that out. And what was that, a roughing the passer? Offensive pass interference, come on, man. So unfortunately, that's gonna move us way back to the 10. And oh god, bro, Taylor's getting bum rushed in the backfield here, takes a sack and coughs up the fumble. This one is going the other way, and this game turned around real fast. A couple turnovers is all that it takes. Absolute worst case scenario play there. Taylor's got to make up for it, and he might have a guy wide open. That's the dude Flourier coming over the middle with a big reception. One of the rare Taylor deep balls. Interesting to see him taking a shot right after the turnover. I think Taylor has just matured to the point where he doesn't feel the pressure as much and gets absolutely whacked on the scramble here. And time is low-key ticking down in the 4th quarter. Got to make something happen quick, and Taylor barely gets the ball out to McCray on 3rd down. I think 5 wide is the way to go. Taylor looks pretty comfortable out of this look, but Fisher brick hands one with a receiver coming at him. And Taylor is dog tired from doing a little bit too much scrambling. He has nothing open on the vertical play. And now he's really going to have to cook 3rd and 10. And the corner route looks open. Gardner almost makes an amazing catch, but we had a little wide receiver collision there, and it'll be 4th down. All right, we have the potential play of the seasons for Taylor, and it looks like he'll have the corner route here. He's chucking that deep, but that ball is a wounded duck, and it will not get to the receiver. Thankfully, Taylor's going to get the ball back. He has thrown 40 passes today, and he's dog tired, but somehow still has a man wide open here. Garcia got past the defense, and this might be the biggest play of the day. 48 yards for Gavin Garcia, and exactly what this offense needed. This is where Taylor's really got a nut up after a couple of mistakes. He's just taking the flat route to pick up the 1st down on this one. He'll have to find a way to push it into the end zone eventually, and he might have him one here. The seam is open. He floats it to Flourier, and that is Luke Flourier's 3rd touchdown on the day. And now it's going to be up to defense to get a stop. And unfortunately, defense does not get a stop, but there's 30 seconds left on the clock still. Taylor's going to have to get things going quick. He'll get out of the pocket here, got to get away from a rusher, and he will be able to get out of bounds. But a lot of time coming off the clock there. With a spot in the conference championship on the line, we'll see what Taylor is made of. And I thought we were going to have the seam there. Taylor just going to have to get out of the pocket and throw it away. That is really not how I wanted to start out this drive. But Taylor is going to have the slant here. That'll be Harris for a big gain. With just 16 seconds left, I'm going to take a timeout. With this little time left, Taylor should probably stick to quick routes, and those out routes are perfect. Harris, you got to get out of bounds though, bro. Come on now. A little bit of a lack of football IQ showing from the Kent State receivers, as Taylor has the quick slant here. That'll work. Gardner, go down, bro. All right, 7 seconds left. Season comes down to this. Taylor is going to take the out route again with 4 seconds on the clock. Probably just going to be one play for the end zone. We'll see what we can get here. I'm just going to go with Verts. Taylor doesn't seem to have anyone off the line, but fits it into Fisher. He gets whacked, but holds on through the contact. Are you kidding me, man? There is 1 second on the clock, and Taylor is now over 500 yards on the day. An insanely clutch play from Fisher will take this game into overtime, and we're going to start out on defense here. We'll see if the Golden Flashes can cook up a stop. Miami's quarterback is throwing to the corner route, and that could have been picked. Bounces off the cornerback's hands. Are you kidding me? I guess the brick hands are not just an offensive issue. This is a huge 3rd down, though. The drag route is wide open, and Miami's going to get this to 1st and goal. But defense is putting up a fight here. It'll be 3rd and goal for Miami, and they are going to pass it. Great pass rush. He finds a dude in the back of the end zone, but there's a flag on the play, and that'll be illegal touching. I think that's a loss of down, right? Yep, that's going to make it 4th and goal. So Miami is going to have to settle for a field goal. This is Taylor's chance. All right, so we'll see what our boy can do here. Already with 500 yards on the day, but he gets sacked immediately. This feels like Taylor's chance to win the game, but gotta make sure he doesn't force anything here. Thankfully, he'll have the slant open to Gardner, who fights for extra yards to make it 3rd and 1. Very nice. Which is gonna go with a conservative QB sneak on 3rd and 1. Taylor hurdling for easy yardage, ended up getting 5. And the Golden Flashes haven't run the ball all game. They're trying to start it here, and Taylor has a pretty good running lane, gets a block, and he'll pick up 5 on the play. Okay. It's all about the blocking here on the read option. This time Taylor's going to hand it off, fight Garcia. That'll make it 3rd and 2. And this time coach is going with a pass. Don't want to take the ball out of Taylor's hands, but that is going to be incomplete. And I don't know what coach is going to do here. Looks like he will settle for the field goal. So a huge missed opportunity for Taylor. He's got to make sure he gets a touchdown this time around, as this is just straight man coverage. He'll find Garcia out of the backfield. No one picked him up, and that'll be a big time gain. Taylor looking just a little bit gun shy in the pocket at this point in the game, but has the slant here. Flourier going to pick up 6 to make it a 2nd and 4. And I don't think the ball is going to get get put on the ground again. This time it'll be a slant play, and Taylor has a man open. Flourier, 4 touchdowns on the day, sets a school record. Dude is an absolute beast. And Taylor sets a school record for passing yards in a game. This is some prime action here, man. It is all up to the defense, and they get a sack on the opening play of the second overtime. I'm hoping Miami's quarterback makes a mistake here. We're sending the dogs, and that one could have been picked off. All right, man, 3rd and 16. Sending the house again. This time Miami's trying to go with a screen, and that was a terrible idea. Now they'll have a 4th and super long. So here we go. This is the game for defense. They've been coming through clutch so far, sending the pressure again, and this will fall to the turf. The Kent State Golden Flashes have pulled it out to get to 8 wins. An incredibly ballsy performance from Taylor, as he had 550 yards, 5 passing touchdowns on the day, add in 50 rushing yards, 2 fumbles, but a win is a win. So after the thriller for Taylor, Colin is taking on Toledo in another huge conference matchup. We'll see if he can keep his insane pace today. This game could potentially be another challenge for the Huskies. It all depends on how Toledo's able to stop Colin in this run game. And we're actually going to hit him with a surprise pass here, and it works to perfection. Colin is wide open out of the backfield, hitting a dirty back juke and almost getting those 2 guys off of him. This is part of what makes him so dangerous. And this offense looking good to start the game. The counter sets up pretty well, but a dude got in the backfield. All right, so it'll be a test for our quarterback here early. 3rd and 13, and Colin trying to get open, but overthrown just a little bit by Hampton. Thankfully, Toledo is not able to get anything. I'm sensing a similar vibe to last game, where Colin had to fight a little bit more than he's used to. He is well below his average of 10 yards a carry today. This one's setting up pretty well. He'll get to the outside, trying to outmaneuver some guys, but that was pretty well played from the Toledo defense. Might have to get more north and south against these dudes. And once again, we're seeing a little bit of fatigue here for Colin. He is not used to taking hits like this. And after coming out of the game for a couple plays, it'll be a 3rd and 7. Thankfully, Hampton's actually able to pick that up without throwing to Colin. What a surprise. Nice job on Mr. Quarterback to keep that drive going, but Toledo is sending the dogs on Colin right now. The usual game plan of running the ball on every play is not working quite as well as normal, but this play is setting up pretty well. Some nice blocking downfield, but we continue to see pretty solid tackling from Toledo. All that matters is we get the dub though. Just gotta punch it into the end zone here, and man, the diamond formation is just so good. I'm gonna try to pass it in here on 2nd and goal, as Colin is open out of the backfield, breaks a tackle, and will finally get in. Hopefully that breaks the seal for this offense. And this NIU defense continues to be really good. Colin making some moves here and finally has a decent run. This one will go for 20 yards, as I don't know how he got out of that hole. Even when you play solid defense like Toledo is doing, a player like Colin is bound to get one off eventually. He is just so hard to tackle, but it looks like he's injured on this play. Thankfully, he comes back in pretty quick, and his offense actually got him down to the goal line. That will be easy money for his 2nd tutty of the day. Toledo just does not have the firepower to keep up with this team, and I'm still waiting for Colin to break off a big run. It looks like this is it, and just like I said, man, it is only a matter of time until this man gets cooking. You can lock him down all day, but he will still get one off. This one's going 85 yards to the bank, and he just broke Barry Sanders' record for rushing touchdowns in a season. This had initially looked like a challenging game, but right now this NIU offense is looking like a legit playoff contender, man. NIU still got another game left in the season, but right now it's looking like Colin's on a collision course with his brother. Even after a slower start, he's got almost 200 yards in this one, and he'll pick up that 4th down easy. The reason coach hasn't been passing the ball in the 2-minute drill is the offense actually looks faster when they're just running the ball, and Colin will get in for his 4th touchdown of the first half. Only a matter of time till dude gets taken out. Gotta rack up the stats while we still can. I'm hoping for another big touchdown before the day is done. Colin's gonna try to cook here on the outside zone. He will hit the 1-man reverse. We'll see what happens. No, quarterback misses the block. It would have been a house call otherwise. Colin has not been able to count on his quarterback for a whole lot, and this team finally goes 3 and out. Toledo's offense has finally gotten it going just a little bit. Colin open out of the backfield here. He'll try to put his head down and get lit up. One of his few weaknesses as a player. The thing about Colin, man, he takes those hits, but he just gets right back up. Getting thrown around really doesn't seem to bother him at all. He's been dealing with that since he was young, and every once in a while, he is the one who throws a guy off of him. A play that looked like it was going for nothing will go for 20 plus yards. With just 4 minutes left in this one, this is actually a huge 3rd down, but Toledo does not stay on Colin. He's gonna get tackled though and fumble the ball. I'm not sure if his knee is down. We'll see if they review this. Nope, that is a straight up turnover for Colin, and Toledo goes down and scores. All right, well, I was thinking this was over, but as it turns out, Toledo's got a little bit of fight left in them. The Northern Illinois offense has really slowed down in the second half. No points for Colin, and he stumbles on nothing there. I don't know what the heck happened. Sometimes, man, this game just tries to get you. It'll be a huge 3rd and 12, and once again, Colin trying to get open. His quarterback actually gets him the the ball, but he drops it. And my God, man, Toledo goes down and scores. That fumble from Colin has turned out to be huge, but he might have a big play here. I was trying to get outside of that blocker to make it bigger, but it'll still be a nice 20 yards to start the drive. All Colin has to do is get his team into field goal range here, but it looks like Toledo is going to make the Huskies pass for it. All right, well, hopefully Colin can get loose out of the backfield. They're doing a pretty good job of covering him up here, though. Hampton's going to have to make a throw, and it looks like that's a completion. It'll only be 5 yards, though. And our big coach is going to go ahead and take a timeout. All right, well, here we go. 3rd and 8. This could potentially be the season. Colin's going to run the angle route and gets underneath. He will fight forward for the first down, and we're going to have to hurry this up. Only 28 seconds left. I'm afraid this is going to have to be all Colin. He totally loses his man here, though, running the exact same route, and that might just have got this team into field goal range. I don't know what kind of kicker we're working with here. We're going to try to pick up a few more yards on the ground, and Colin has a wide open lane. The kicker will not need to do anything. He gets it in for the touchdown. Let's go. And this team gets out of here with a narrow win. Almost choked it away, but Colin did his thing with 4 touchdowns on the day, also adding 80 yards and a touchdown through the air. Both brothers have been insanely clutch in this video, and now it's time for Taylor's regular season finale against Ohio. This one's getting off to a great start as Flourier is wide open on the corner route, and he will turn and burn, almost taking this thing to the house and picking up 45. That's a pretty ideal way to start this one off, but Gardner's gonna brickhand Taylor's next pass. We'll see if this team has any emotional hangover from last week's thriller. Good defense from Ohio will get it to 3rd down. Coach is gonna go to the 5-wide look that Taylor worked wonders in last week at the end of the game, and he's gonna get out of the pocket here. He has B wide open, just has to make the throw, and he does. Nice job of extending the play by Taylor. Now he's just got to find a way to punch it into the end zone, and he might have a guy open deep here. Floats it over top perfectly, but it is dropped. Come on, dude. That's pretty frustrating. Now Taylor will have a 3rd and 10, but the corner route continues to be cash for him. Goal line's what's given him trouble in the past, and it's gonna give him trouble again here. He leads his dude too far upfield and throws the pick. Taylor has the potential to be an NFL quarterback, but one thing that's gonna be on the scouting report is that he turns the ball over way too much. I feel like he has an excuse on this Kent State team. Since he is basically responsible for 100% of their offense, he has to make some risky throws, and that pass puts him over 4,000 yards on the season. Taylor's got to make sure he picks up a touchdown before halftime here, and he's going to get out of the pocket. These Ohio defenders look slow, and he's going to try to make more out of this. This is maybe his longest rush ever, and he will stiff arm his way into the end zone for a 33-yard tutty. Looking faster than he's ever looked on that play. I'd say Taylor did a pretty good job of making up for his turnover there, and he's going to have a guy up the seam here. That is Flourier, who absolutely balled out last game. Taylor's already up over 200 passing yards on the day, and just has Garcia here on the dump off for the easy gain. Garcia continues to be a solid option out of the backfield. In this offense, everyone is a pass catcher, so it's good that Garcia's been able to step up in that role, and Taylor might have had someone downfield there, but doesn't want to make a mistake. Instead, steps up in the pocket and fights for the first. And I really think that's going to be the next step in Taylor's maturity, just realizing when to try to not do too much. And right when I say that, he does try to do too much. Just completely didn't even see that defender, and that'll be his 2nd pick of the half. You have really got to take the bitter with the sweet with this guy, and right after throwing the pick, he's able to find Flourier for a 30-yard gain. Turning the ball over doesn't matter a whole lot when the other team can't score. All Taylor's got to do is continue to push the ball, and I think there's something kind of beautiful about a quarterback that just totally throws caution to the wind sometimes, still making these throws across his body, and Luke Flourier has really just stepped up to be a star receiver, man. Taylor's just got to finish off the drive here. He's going to try the out route, and this time it's McCray for the touchdown. Taylor's almost at 300 passing yards in the first half. Ohio does go down and get a touchdown, so they're still kind of in this game. Taylor's got to lead his boys on a touchdown drive here to pull away, and faced with a 3rd and 10, we'll see what he can cook up. He's going to go ahead and get out of the pocket. Doesn't look like he has anyone open. Dude comes down to get him though, and Flourier is going to get near the first down, unfortunately not able to put his head down. And Ohio able to get a field goal. We might have another surprise nail biter on our hands, and nothing open again here for Taylor. He's going to get out of the pocket. This time he gets away from a couple of guys though, and he is down the sideline, having probably the best rushing day of his career at the moment. I'm really hoping he can find another passing touchdown to offset those picks he threw earlier, and he's just going to chuck it up to Holmes here. Thankfully dude catches it. After last week's game, Taylor does not look very nerves heavy. He's playing carefree football, but he's lucky that one wasn't an intentional grounding. And it looks like Kent State's going to run for it on 3rd and inches. Taylor is going to keep it, and his good rushing day continues. He'll slide down after a solid gain, and the Bobcat is an absolute shambles. That's a creepy ass mascot, bro. All right, just got to take care of the ball now. This is where Taylor tends to make mistakes. Just got to take these underneath routes, especially when Flourier is open. He's got 150 receiving yards on the day. Taylor's passing yards have slowed down just a little bit since that first half, but he has Flourier again here, and this one is going to be a house call. That boy is just so good, and Taylor delivers a pinpoint pass pass right into the breadbasket. Ohio's not able to get anything, so looks like Kent State will just be able to run the clock out. First, I want to get Taylor a touchdown to make the stats look a little bit cleaner though, and Ohio was not expecting us to pass. He's got the seam wide open. Why not give Flourier another? We love running up the score a little bit here on the channel. Despite a couple of ugly turnovers, Taylor has a really good day passing, as well as having what is probably his best day ever on the ground. So the Golden Flashes finish 9-3, locking down their side of the conference. Meanwhile, Colin and the boys have a night game at home, trying to finish the season with an undefeated record. I am hoping for a nice and easy win for Colin this time around. Would ideally like to give him some rest before the conference championship game. Doesn't seem like the workload's been wearing on him too much. It'd still be nice to get him a rest, and he is definitely going to get one today if he makes plays like this. He hits the back juke and might be gone. Number 10's a little bit quick though. He will track him down. Still a huge play from Colin early on, but after he goes to the sideline, his team has to settle for a field goal, and Western Michigan starts it out with a touchdown. Not what I was expecting from these dudes. It might be a little bit more of a fight than Colin anticipated, but he's got another great hole there, trying to spring it to the outside, and he'll pick up the first down. Colin's obviously been great, but you got to give some credit to this offensive line. Right when I say that, they let a dude come right through. But my point still stands. They've done a great job of opening up holes for Colin, and with his speed, it's just so easy to hit him. Huskies have got to punch this one into the end zone if Western Michigan's offense is going to be good, and Colin might have everyone beat here. Going to cut it back inside and truck a guy. Will get down to the 10. That's what we like to see, man. Moving steadily down the field, and we'll bounce it to the outside here. Great vision from Colin to find that cutback, and he will punch it in. This time defense gets a stop, and we are not looking too shabby. Colin's showing some power today too, bowling forward for 10. And it's funny because averaging 10 yards a carry today, he hasn't even felt like he's gone that crazy. Almost every play has been a run today. On 3rd and 10, we're going to try the halfback screen. Colin was the one guy they were expecting him to throw it to, but we almost get out of there anyway. Number 10's been tracking Colin down today, low-key. And okay, Western Michigan able to get back on top. Colin might just have another dogfight on his hands, and it looks like the Huskies are going to have to do a little bit of passing to end the half. Western Michigan's going to have to match up someone other than the linebacker with Colin though, and with 3 timeouts we can't afford to run in a little bit, especially if Colin's picking up first downs, and he will do that there, once again showing the power, and that time he put number 10 in the dirt. Gotta close this out. Coach is going to try this screen again. I don't know how I feel about this, but Colin with some nifty moves to get out of there and will pick up the first down. You just got to get him in space. Still 3 timeouts for the Huskies as Colin is dog tired, but still trucking over people. We've seen a lot of that today. I'm trying to see our quarterback make a play here, but instead he just locks on to Colin, who is absolutely not open. After that play, coach is just going to try to fit a cheap run in. It's hilarious how much Western Michigan is still stacking the box at the end of the half, and the Huskies are going to have to settle for a field goal with 20 seconds left. Western Michigan is kind of proven to be a tough out, but this play is setting up real good. Just got to follow the blocker. Oh man, we got caught up on him. I thought that one was going to the bank. This has really been the biggest money formation for Colin all year. Does a great job of setting up the edge, and it is going to do that perfectly here as he hits a back juke trying to get around these other Western Michigan defenders, and if he didn't step out, he might have taken that one. I think Colin's height actually makes him way more difficult to tackle in the open space, and he's going to get out of here on the draw. Gets absolutely laid down by number 10, who is definitely his enemy today. This is where we've had trouble because Colin gets tired and can't finish these drives out. His team is going to have to do some work for him. Thankfully, this time his quarterback's able to pick up a few first downs and is going to keep it on the read option here. Everybody went to Colin, and that'll be an easy touchdown for Ethan Hampton. And IU is thankfully going to be back in control of this game as Western Michigan is really sending the house here. If Colin can get past this second level with the blitz coming, he might be gone, and he might have a shot to do it here. Got to make a couple men miss, but he gets tackled from behind, and it looks like he might have gotten hurt on the play. Thankfully, just got the wind knocked out of him, so he'll take a breather and come back in, and now he's just got to run the rest of this clock out. Almost picking up the first down there. Gonna go to the goal line, look on 2nd and inches. Western Michigan stacking the box, and that is dangerous because Colin will get to the outside. Normally this would be a house call, but this dude number 10 just has his number today. That guy deserves some props for being able to keep up with Colin, but our guy is just still getting his 10 yards per carry. Western Michigan down to 1 timeout, and instead of this defense wearing down Colin, Colin is wearing down this defense. Just got to take care of the rock as he's almost at 300 yards, and they're sending everybody after him at this point. And on 3rd and 9, no reason to put the ball into Ethan Hampton's hands, especially not when Colin can do this. He'll get around the edge one more time, and this time he will be gone. Good night, Western Michigan. That'll do it for this one. Another great performance. A nice little 300 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns today. Offense got slowed down a little bit, but just a little bit. So that confirms that Taylor and Colin will be playing against each other in the conference championship game. And after going 12-0, the Huskies make a shocking jump in the polls to number 2. Did not see that one coming.